we hear the word leader, we may not be able to identify with the term. So what is a leader? One doesn't have to be the head of a large organization to be considered a leader. One simply has to be able to lead by example. In this sense, we can all become better leaders. We can all try our best to set a better example for our family members, for our friends, for our neighbors, and even our colleagues. I really like what Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. So a mindful leader or a mindful person recognizes that all change needs to start with one's own self. There's so many things we can improve about our own lives. And we know how hard it is to even change our own habits and tendencies. So what to speak of trying to change another person? The traditional leadership model with overbearing bosses who don't lead by example and who underappreciate the contributions of their workforce isn't very inspiring. A mindful leader tries their best to lead by example, to communicate compassionately, to appreciate the contributions of others, and tries their very best to remain emotionally balanced during difficult situations. One example that comes to mind of a mindful leader is the CEO of Japan Airlines, Haruka Nishimatsu. When he had to give a pay cut to a large number of his workforce, he also gave himself a pay cut. In fact, there was a time when he only made $90,000 a year. He also cut out a lot of his perks. In fact, he doesn't even sit in an office. He sits in an open space with all of his employees so that his employees can feel connected to him and they can come up and talk with him. And when it's lunchtime, he gets in line with everyone else and gets his own lunch. And again, he sits and eats with everyone else. So people feel that he's one of us, that he's not disconnected and aloof from the rest of the workforce. Another great example of a mindful leader who sacrificed a lot for his team is the San Antonio basketball all-star, Tim Duncan. He spent 19 years, his entire career, with one team, the San Antonio Spurs. He's won 5 championships. And for the last 3 years, before his retirement, he decided to take a 50% pay cut. That comes out to $10 million per year. So in those 3 years, he made $30 million less than he normally would have. It's a big sacrifice, but he recognized that it's important to put the team's needs ahead of his own needs. And this way the organization could continue to flourish and bring on new talent and younger players. So there might be examples of mindful leaders in our own personal lives. So let's meditate. Let's take time out to meditate on these wonderful qualities demonstrated by these amazing people and see if we can try to imbibe some of these qualities into our own lives so that we can set a better example for others and we can become more mindful leaders.